It's time now for a look at latest in local news. In the news on March 18th, the Jesup Police Department was notified by the GBI regarding allegations involving a Jesup police officer in connection with an ongoing criminal case in another jurisdiction. In order to permit the GBI to conclude its work and to permit the Jesup Police Department to conduct its own internal affairs investigation, Chief of Police placed the officer on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation, which is a normal process whenever allegations regarding a police officer are made. A thorough criminal investigation is expected to be conducted by the GBI. Jesup Police Department's Internal Affairs Division will also conduct an internal investigation to determine whether any department policies, procedures, city ordinances, or provisions outlined in the City Employee Handbook were violated. Jesup Police Department is committed to transparency, accountability, and maintaining public trust, and they state they uphold the highest professional and ethical standards, remain dedicated to providing professional law enforcement services to the citizens and visitors of Jesup while ensuring the integrity of ongoing investigations. Once again, the GBI conducting an investigation and the City of Jesup Internal Affairs conducting an investigation. Superior Court Judge Stephen Scarlett confirms that defendant Larry Jenkins, who has stood trial twice and also had appeal upheld, has been convicted twice by a jury of his peers, has been granted a third trial by the Supreme Court. As in a split decision 5-4 ruling, Jenkins is entitled to a third trial as they ruled that a statement Jenkins made in a patrol car after his arrest should not have been allowed as evidence in either trial. Therefore, a trial has been scheduled for the Glenn County Courthouse with jury selection scheduled for April the 7th. The motions hearing before that will take place this Friday in Glenn County Courthouse in front of Judge Scarlett. WIFO will be on hand, have a full report for you on Monday's newscast. Jenkins was age 17 at the time of the murders back in 1993. Murders of Terry and Michael Ralston, mother and 15-year-old son. Jenkins robbed their family-owned laundromat at gunpoint, ordered them into their Chevy van, and drove them to a wooded area in Wayne County near a railroad track and shot and killed both of them. Next day, he was spotted by Jesup police driving that Chevy van around town. While police were chasing the van, Jenkins threw the murder weapon into some bushes. When he ran from the van and dropped a backpack which contained $142 worth of quarters from the laundromat, he was later arrested by Jesup police. They found Michael Ralston's learner's permit in Jenkins' pocket. There were 3 other men in the van at the time that the van was pulled over, but they, through interviews with the police, stated they were not with Jenkins at the time of the laundromat robbery. In 1999, again, Jenkins appealed his conviction, but that conviction was upheld. Then a second trial, and once again, a jury found Jenkins guilty of murders of Michael and Terry Ralston. He's remained in prison on those convictions, but now a third trial has been granted, and Judge Stephen Scarlett has been assigned the case. And the motions hearing is set for this Friday at 10:30 in the Glenn County Courthouse. And WIFO has talked with a Ralston family member. They can't understand how Jenkins has been granted another trial. The family member asked how much pain and suffering does the family have to go through as their crimes again were committed back in 1993. Jenkins, who was 17 at the time, is now 50 years old. His defense attorney is appointed. It's Jonathan Lockwood. The prosecutor will be District Attorney Keith Higgins. Once again, the motion hearing set for this Friday in Glenn County. And again, WIFO will be on hand in the courthouse. Have a full report for you on Monday's newscast. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. In other news, Jesup City Commissioners met last night for their regularly scheduled meeting, and on a 6-0 vote, they approved the only bid they received for their East Jesup sewer project. It came from Thomas & Hutton. The bid $11,483,699.50. Again, the vote was 6-0 to approve the bid. Once again, during the initial phase of this project, the projected cost was around $25 million, but City Manager Nick Ellis, Mayor Ralph Hickok's council got together with their Water Infrastructure Committee, Engineer Bill Schuman, Commissioners Mike Deal and Pam Schuman, employees Patrick Martin and Anthony Crawford were able to reduce the cost of $25 million down to $11.4 million. The project expected to cost, and they state they have the funding now for that project. Also, the city thanked people like State Representative Stephen Meeks and State Senator Blake Tillery, Congressman Buddy Carter, as the city's receiving funds. Supplemental state budget that's already been passed in Atlanta has $4 million included to go towards the East Jesup Sewer project for the city of Jesup and Wayne County and the industrial park. IDA Director Del Keith also had a major part in talking and working with state elected officials again securing that funding. Again, $4 million in that budget is coming to Wayne County for that project. Commissioners also last night discussed the plans for the fire station number 2. Those plans approved Tuesday. The asbestos removal begins soon. And the Boys and Girls Club storm repair discussed last night. The damage to the roof awarded to Edwards Roofing. The bid $42,000. Once again, that from the City of Jesup meeting held Tuesday. They state their retreat will have to be rescheduled for some time in the month of April. Reminder, tomorrow the Wayne County EMA states that they got a coordinator training exercise. During this time, residents and visitors will notice a heavy presence of law enforcement officers, fire trucks, and ambulances and helicopters around the JC Fairgrounds and the local hospital. This exercise, they state, is routine, planned event to help improve emergency response capabilities in the community. Please be assured that this is a training activity and not an actual emergency situation. There is no cause for alarm. Once again, that's taking place tomorrow around 2 p.m. Legislative session ends in Atlanta on April the 4th, and a traditional event held by the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce is their post-legislative luncheon. It's scheduled for April 22nd at Coastal Pines Technical College. It'll take place from 11 to 1. Tickets are on sale now at the Chamber of Commerce. They're $30 for members and $40 for non-members. Everyone is invited to come here from State Representative Stephen Meeks and Buddy DeLoach and State Senator Blake Tillery as they'll recap the legislative session, discuss the highs and lows, talk about what bills did not pass and were left on the table for the next legislative session. Once again, that post-legislative luncheon set for April 22nd at Coastal Pines Technical College. If you need tickets or more information, call the Chamber at 912-427-2028. We'll be back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor or the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final notes in the news, a couple of special guests on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show the next couple of days. This morning we'll be talking with 1st District Congressman Buddy Carter, as he'll be talking about ending waste, fraud, and abuse in Washington, D.C., and what all the Trump administration is doing to combat that. Carter says despite the media's frenzy that Americans are overwhelmingly in support of the work the president is doing to identify waste, fraud, and abuse and better preserve hardworking Americans' tax dollars. Carter says the bottom line is that the days of unchecked federal spending is over. The Trump administration, with the help of Elon Musk, is using 21st century technology to eliminate the waste, fraud, and abuse that Washington Democrats want to pretend doesn't exist. Carter says these are your dollars, and President Trump is committed to tracking every single penny. Again, that's the topic on today's Butch and Bob Show with Congressman Buddy Carter. Tomorrow on the Butch and Bob Show, we have Wayne County School Superintendent Tony Williams joining us. She has been hired and named the full-time superintendent, and she's had the job now for several months. She'll be on hand to talk about the state of Wayne County's education and update us on the 3 capital improvement projects that the board has approved: the building of a new ag center at the high school, a new ROTC building at the high school, and a new weight room for the high school. At last Tuesday's work session, the board and superintendent approved Pope Construction out of Statesburg, Georgia, as their construction manager, awarding them and selecting their bid. Once again, we've got Wayne County School Superintendent Tony Williams on tomorrow's Butch and Bob Show. That's going to do it for latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan's having a great day.